On the character we're meant to be leveling together. Because you've leveled your character 10 levels above where I am, so we're no longer doing the game together.
Classic co-op MMO thing.
Every single time.
There's always one who just...
That's an awesome intro, guys. You got Danny arguing with their other half in the background, and this.
Oops.
Evening, everybody. Well, you put me up a stride. Level it. Apparently, he's leveling. He's leveling 10 levels without you. Evening, everybody. Matt Geary here for Geek Pride's Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign, The Legend of Our Sacrifice. With me tonight, we have Conrad as Arno Jerkel.
Good evening.
We have Michael as Tharval Eldon.
Good evening.
We have Wes as Valshul Nostius.
Evening.
We have Mark as Lance.
Don't get it on the list.
And we have Danny as Galandra Rivenstar.
Hiya.
Right, got no Dave tonight, unfortunately. Hopefully, back soon. So we will carry on with where we were. Right, so we are currently trying to avoid imminent civil war. So basically, the group from our last session have taken themselves off into different directions to different things to try and enact Valashul's plan to basically... What's scapegoat? Is it scapegoat? It wouldn't be scapegoat. It would be
Initiate civil war?
No, it's not. No, it's not scapegoat. It's something you're basically framing Suburn for something. Yeah. So basically, you've got a plan, and the plan is to try and prevent civil war. Is to persuade Triarch Agover that there is a cultist plot. Which, another cultist plot within Balon, created and backed by Suburn. And so we're basically trying to frame Suburn. And Suburn, who is one of the Triarchs in the blue area of the map that you can probably see, is the one who didn't take too kindly to the party, sent his men to arrest them, and then Lance cut off the captain's head, and they
might have missed out the whole hostage thing.
Oh yeah, so they would see it as taking prisoners from a group of people who were causing the land.
I'm pretty sure he used the H word.
Anyway, so we've got a group of them doing... So we've got Thomas, who's taken himself up north to taunt. He was getting a way to basically get some more light charges for his staff. So he's gone to the Temple of Marduk. He's talked to the deacon there. He's been given some relics and stuff to disenchant effectively and get himself a few more light charges for his staff. He's then made his way to Taunt to get the navy to bring it round to Agover. The city of Agover. He has basically given them the orders to do that and has taken himself off into the city itself, with Sally, no doubt, in tow. As for Arno, he has gone to the city of Suburn. He has prostrated himself in front of the Triarch Suburn and said he knows of a plot against him, and that it's all to do with this mischievous gang of reprobates who have invaded his land and caused him no end of woes, and he can help him out. And he's basically the sleeper cell who is there to basically plant evidence and try and basically frame Suburn for cultist activity. Tharaval and Ciravel are sort of within the city to see, what's going on, and to basically send messages to Arno through their sort of contacts in the criminal underworld that what's going on, and if Agover has sort of been persuaded to sort of send over some men and sort of confront Suburn. As for Valsho, the mastermind behind this Machiavellian masterpiece, Team Galandra Taunt. This Machiavellian masterpiece has gone with Galandra to Agover, and I think Lady Taunt is with you as well. Yep. Lady Taunt's with you as well, and we're
now on our way back, I believe.
Yeah, so you've persuaded Agover that something is going on and that he needs to confront Suburn about this whole thing. As for Lance, were you on your own or were you with anybody else?
I had the captain and I had...
You had Anders and Eldrith. That's
Eldrith,
yeah. So you've gone to Camber Ford to see, obviously there was people being held hostage / are being arrested by Suburn's men. They've turned up and basically went, there's no need of fighting these guys. The men that you persuaded to join your side said, we don't want the war. Hey guys, we can all be friends, sort of thing. There was a bit of a standoff, and then they sort of lay down their arms. And then one of the men has basically has been found trying to rape Daisy, who is basically Galandra's lady in waiting for all intents and purposes, the daughter of the farmers, and also the ex-wife of Micah. Was it Micah who was killed?
Yep.
Yeah, Micah.
Yep.
The ex-wife of Micah going back away. Sir Tristan's...
It's not a problem. I nailed that problem down.
Yes. And and Lance dished out some corporal punishment, basically stabbing his man parts to the ground and basically using him as a beacon to the rest of them to basically behave. And so he is wandering around Camber Ford trying to help out the Dragonborn and the remainder of the people who are there. And that is where we are at this moment in time. Tharval seems to be in the middle of the ocean by the Dragon Fort, but he should be sort of kind of in Suburn. Let's move you over there.
I wanted to be in a tower.
In the tower. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so where are we going to start? We'll start with you, Lance, because you put a little bit in the Discord about what you were doing, so you can kind of explain what you're up to and what you're sort of kind of doing there.
Okay, so obviously we're in place and just trying to get everything back on the straight and narrow. So one advantage of not needing to sleep is that Lance is able to keep moving around and keep an eye on things and try to encourage everyone to be positive. So he's lending a helping hand here and there, helping to lug stuff, helping to sort out fences and whatever else has been damaged and get things back together, and just trying to set a positive example for everybody in the aftermath of the abuse they suffered.
Okay, so are you sticking around for a bit? Are you moving on?
I think for a couple of days, it's just a case of making sure everything's settled down.
Okay.
And keeping an eye on the former jailers for a day or two, just to make sure they've got the point. With
literally
from Eldrith.
Got the point.
Is everybody from Agover's territory? Are they going to be passing back through Camberford and picking Lance up on the way past, or will they go?
That's a logical path to go. And
Yeah, so it takes you
journey,
it'll be what sort of kicks you 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So yeah, it'll take you about a day. Possibly, yeah, so I think you can move walking, I think you can do 22 miles in a day, I think, sort of in a full day, I think. So yeah, it's taking you about a day and a bit if you're sort of getting to Camberford. So yeah, and then it take another day to get to Suburn. Okay, right. Where are we gonna go next? Right. The Navy, Val, that is just literally going to make its way down to Agover. So it's not, so it's not going towards Suburn. It's going to Agover.
No, it's going to Agover.
Are we like on horseback or on the boats or something? Or
I
like
think
what?
we're just travelling on foot towards Suburn.
Yeah, picking up. I'm assuming picking up Lance on the way.
I was going to say, if we were all on the boat, it's a very cozy sandwich.
Okay, so all right. So you're making your way through, your way through Balin towards Suburn. Arno, you're in the sort of the citadel, the palace, I guess.
How long have I been there? Because last time we sort of RP'd I met Subin, I kind of gave him some advice on what I had seen, and he sort of corroborated that everything I was saying made sense. But then I think we sort of left it there. So
yeah, so
how long have I
he's been there,
now?
and then he basically decided to start manning. What did you say to him again? What is it you told him?
He suggested that he should press on Suncrest, and I had convinced him not to.
Oh, that's right.
Because it was strategically bad. So I think you said that he would instead move his forces back towards.
Yeah, so he's basically, because you said that potentially they were coming there, and then he's going to move his forces back towards the city. Okay, so they would have come back by the time. Let's move.
We also had a rider that escaped from Falcross that was heading towards Subin.
Yes,
so
that's right. So the rider,
the
rider would have turned up, and he would have corroborated everything you'd said.
Yeah. So Subin trusts me even more based off that.
Yeah. So he basically understand. He knows that his men have switched sides. He knows that Lady Taunt has been. Lady Taunt has been sort of declared Queen of the Isle, Empress of Balon. I would potentially say that he would send a rider out towards Agover to basically tell him what's going on.
I think you said that actually, and he'd take the south road, wouldn't he?
Yeah. So he's so he's going south. Now,
would Tharival notice or get word that a rider's going out? Because obviously he's not there to intercept riders coming in, but going out might be a different.
Yeah. So Tharival, how does your sort of criminal contacts thing work?
It's basically, it's Cervel's actually. Hold on, where is he?
What time of day would it be now, Matt? Would it be kind of evening time? Would it have reached the time where I told Tharival to meet at a certain time?
Well, no, because if something's happened, he would have sent a rider out straight away.
Yeah.
So it would have been, you would have told him what's going to happen. He would have kind of gone, then this other rider would have turned up soon afterwards, corroborated that, then he would have sent a rider straight out afterwards.
Yeah.
So
I can't want him.
Yeah, so...
the criminal contact says you have a reliable... actually, can I fire it into the thing? Probably the easiest way to do it. I mean, I think from what Tharival and Serval are doing, they're basically trying to go with as little contact with people as possible, other than the criminal contact, as it were. But I would say they are basically being vigilant for what the word is on the street, or comings and goings into and out of the main citadel. So I would assume that they're probably keeping an eye on, if there are riders and things like that.
Okay.
It's
I would
basically-
imagine you'd be watching it, right? And if
Yeah,
you see
it's
anyone making
basically-
haste out,
Okay.
It's basically
roll me.
all reconnaissance, really. So.
Yeah. So roll me a perception then.
Where is it? There we go. Oh, is it doing the freezing thing again? It is. There we go.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So, sort of, you've got yourself in a you've sort of a bed sit, sort of a building that's sort of kind of close to the citadel. You notice there's a bit of a kerfuffle going on, and you see a rider coming down from the main sort of kind of Palatine, I guess, towards the sort of kind of the main city proper. A rider sort of kind of coming out, who seems in a bit of a haste.
I've actually forgot. Are we supposed to be intercepting ones on the way out?
on the way out, yeah, but not on the way in.
The point is to isolate and panic him, but not
Uh,
to rally support.
Okay. Let's see. Arval is going to.
Who has the sending stones again? Farival has one, and the other is with Val. Or
I
what did we
don't
say?
think I had one on me.
We said Thomas was the one that decided. I think it made sense for Farival to have one, and we were going to communicate if everything was all good with the other party. So was it Lance, Galandra, or Val?
Can't recall. Sorry.
No, I can't recall either.
Okay, so Tharabal's going to cast Disguise Self on himself.
Okay.
And he's basically going to disguise himself as one of the sort of guards at the front, and he's going to step out and woe the horse to slow the guard down, and ask him where he's going in such a haste.
So you're going to disguise yourself. Who are you disguising yourself as?
As one of as a guard, as like a
City guard.
sorry.
Like a city guard, you mean?
Yeah.
A city guard. Okay. All right. So are you just standing? You're just going to wave him down? How are you?
Yeah.
How are you going to try and stop him?
Basically, he's going to wave him down, sort of shout, saying, "Stop!" in the name of, where are we? Sorry,
Triarch.
Suburn.
So yeah, he's going to wave him down, say halt in the name of the name of the Triarch. Yeah, we'll just leave it with that for the time being.
Okay. Roll me intimidation.
Intimidation?
Well, I've got
It's not
he's got a mission to do, so I'm assuming he's got sort of like orders just to kind of get there, and if somebody just stops him, I need something that is going to give him.
Yeah, but if he's got a guard that like as in who is obviously of a has a. It's not like it's just somebody jumping out and trying to stop him. It's an actual guard who's got orders to do something.
You have to get him to respect your authority.
Yeah, I think it's sort of like if it's more to do like he's in a hurry, he's moving through. If you just stop out, he might not realize. I'm just.
Don't get hit by the horse and fail a concentration roll on your.
Basically, then it would be perception on him as to whether he actually sees and.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that then. Yeah. All right. Okay, that sounds.
There's a dexterity roll coming up for you, Mike.
Yeah. Okay.
Or is it the athletics?
So, it's going to be. I'll give it a. Even with like a +5, he's not.
It's hovered on 18 there for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
So he starts like he hasn't heard you.
Okay. Then. Let's see. Ceravel is going to cast. Okay, Ceravel's going to cast Charm Person.
Okay, attempt to charm a human you can see within range. It must take a Wisdom saving throw. With advantage if you or your companion are fighting it. If companions are fighting it, does with advantage if you're fighting. Oh, it's not. You're not fighting it. Okay. Okay.
But has to roll Wisdom. Oh, I bet you that's going to beat it as well, isn't it?
Yes,
it is.
Okay.
Crap.
Yeah, so he's charging ahead. I'll give you one more chance to sort of try and stop him somehow.
I don't want to start attacking people yet.
You can always send one of your two brothers to follow him out. I guess.
Yeah, but he's
on
on a horse.
He's on a horse and stuff.
He's
So
on-
yeah.
he's on-
Well, steal a horse then. Or use the sending stone to tell the rest of the party that there's a rider coming to Agover via the south road. I guess if you fail this,
I did get the sending stones, didn't I? Did I?
you got one of them, and then we left one with the party in Agover. I
The
believe.
point was to let you know when they'd successfully got things going on, so you could pass that on.
Okay, I suppose that's probably the best thing to do without actually having to engage somebody. Yeah, so... Well,
You don't want to blow the cover, do you?
The thing is... Then you could question well, I'm assuming because they rolled, we actually know that it is a rider with a message or something like that. I mean, how we just know that there's a rider leaving.
Oh yeah, you don't know he's going to Agover, do you?
Yeah, you just know there's somebody leaving in a hurry, and he's one ignored you. Well, one hasn't seen you, and two ignored or sort of he's too concentrated on his task to sort of be charmed by your charms.
Actually, satchel, I suppose.
Okay, well, I suppose we're just gonna have to yell at him then.
Roll intimidation.
Okay, who's slightly more intimidating? Come on. That's not good.
Please stop. Okay, so yeah, he blows past you, and starts making his way towards the western gate.
Would we be able to see the gate from here?
There's probably like a main sort of road. You he's sort of kind of going towards the sort of kind of central, actually, I wonder if I've got a map of Suburn here. But let me just check. I've got Falcross, I've got Suncrest, I've got Kiberath. I do have, I've got Agover.
Oh, can I have one last chance at it?
What is it you're going to do?
Animal handling.
Alright, you're going to try and
On
persuade
the
the horse. Okay, cool. I'll give it to you, but you're not having advantage on it. It's just a straight roll.
Okay. Right. So yeah, he's going to try and basically try and woe the horse. If the rider's actually ignoring him, he's going to try and concentrate on what the horse is doing. Come on, horsey. Yeah.
Okay, so what are you saying to the horse? What are you sort of...
So Tharabal sort of is like, he sort of puts on an eye. He's like, "Whoa there, horse! Whoa, whoa! Calm down, slow down." And then sort of maybe takes out an apple from his pouch to feed the horse.
are you, what sort of rank and stuff are you, what's your disguise as? What are you sort of ranked as? What are you?
Oh god. He's going to be of a high enough rank, basically where he can, give orders, or at least has the authority to try and stop people.
Okay. And is Ceravel disguised as well, or is it just you?
Just him. Ceravel is sort of often, well, he's still sort of staying off to the side for the time being, but...
Okay. Alright, so... you sort of kind of, the horse sort of kind of comes to a grinding halt, and then sort of kind of you throw out the apple. The rider is very sort of kind of annoyed that you stopped him and is about to sort of kind of give off to you about sort of kind of stopping him. Then he realizes, he shows he looks at your sort of insignia, though he's sort of kind of looking at it quizzically. I'm just going to see if he believes your disguise.
Yeah, I need to roll a deception, or...
No, it's so your disguise. What does your disguise say? Disguise self. You make yourself include. So I need to roll a D. I need to roll over 14.
If you use the spell to appear within discerning that you're disguised, a creature can use its action to inspect your appearance and must succeed in intelligence investigation against your spell save DC. Yeah. So you need
14.
14. Yeah. Oh, bollocks.
Okay, so he, and this is just a roll of a d20. There's no modifiers or anything. So he looks at you and he sort of kind of realizes, well, he thinks you're of a like a captain, but he also knows that you wouldn't be. Why would you be here on your own in the middle of the town? Away from your sort of command in the Citadel, and he sort of kind of looks at you and says, "Out of the way!" And he sort of goes to kick you and sort of go on.
Okay. Then. Okay. He's going to cast Speak with Animals, and he's going to try and ask the horse to try and buck him off.
Right, first up, I'm going to try it, because he's going to kick at you first before you realise, so I need you to roll me a perception to see if you sort of realise he's going to do anything first. Okay, and then roll me a dex to see if you get out of the way of the kick.
I have...
Be save, wouldn't it? Dex save.
What is it I've got? Cutting action... I don't know, what is it? Oh, maybe it's not that. Okay, so dex save, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so he sort of kind of lashes out. You just sort of kind of niftily sort of kind of just step to the side of his kick. So what are you doing now?
So he's going to cast Speak with Animals, and he's going to try and... So he'll move out of the way of the kick, and he will cast Speak with Animals.
You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts. The direction and knowledge of the awareness of the beast is limited to the intelligence, but the minimum the beast you give is information about nearly location. You might be able to persuade a beast to perform a small favor for you. Okay, so what are you asking the horse to do?
So I'm going to ask the horse, why not remove that shouting burden from your back and give yourself a rest. Kick him or buck him off to the ground. And be on your way or something like that. Or
okay, so I'm going to roll just a d20 on this. Okay, yeah. So the horse, the horse sort of neighs back at you and agrees with you, and sort of rears up. The rider, to be honest, yeah, no, I'm not going to overcomplicate it. I was going to say because it's a trained horse and blah blah blah, but I'm going to overcomplicate things. Okay, so he just he rears up. The rider sort of kind of plants on the ground. The horse then takes itself off to sort of a nearby sort of kind of trough and starts to drink some water.
Okay. Does he Darvel then goes over and he, as the rider's on the ground, he's like he's gonna say to him, it's like, I tried to tell you to slow down. We can't have you running through charging through the streets at that speed. I don't care how urgent it is. Somebody could get hurt, and you almost did. And as he does, he is going to try and basically pickpocket. Oh, do I really want to do this?
This is all very risky for you. Yeah. The priority is not getting Dean in the city.
Do I want to do that?
He doesn't believe you, who you are, and even if you're going to take a note, he could just verbally tell somebody. You
true.
don't. You have no. That being said, you have no idea what he's going to do or what he's saying. You just know he's. So you don't know what he has. All you know is he's on an urgent.
Urgent. Yeah.
So you don't really know what's going on, other than this guy's urgently sort of kind of coming out of the city.
Okay. If that's the case, then I think Ceravel is going. Fuck it. Actually, Ceravel's going to jump on the horse and he's going to ride it off. He's going to steal his horse.
You're going to steal his horse? What? Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Do you have a proficiency in horse riding?
He's got animal handling.
You need a proficiency in vehicles and horses and stuff. So it'll be at a disadvantage because you don't have proficiency in horse riding.
Okay.
Bearing in mind, 3-year-olds can ride horses.
Yeah,
what?
But
bearing in mind, like 3-year-olds can ride horses.
Yeah, they can't just jump on a horse they've never ridden before and then sort of kind of,
But then, my argument against that is I'm pretty sure that we've said that we've been riding horses like to and from places. Nothing's been said about that.
That's not just like we've never ridden.
I think what's more fair, Matt, is if you do an animal handling check again to see if the horse obeys him.
Yeah.
It's probably
that's what I mean. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to.
All right, fair
just
dues.
be
All
like,
right, okay, yep, all right.
I mean, you'd probably expect everyone around these days to be able to ride horses, considering it's the most
So you, I want you to say what you're going to do, and I want you to make it as sort of epic as possible. So when it fails,
Okay. So Tharaval, he runs towards the horse and he turns back and he says, "See, you fool! I tried to slow you down, but it's my horse now for your stupidity." And he gets up on the horse and he's like, "And away we go!" And he sort of waves his hand, and then he sort of says, "Mush, ush."
No, this is what happens. So you run up, you say your thing, you sort of kind of do this sort of kind of proper elven sort of kind of like parkour thing to jump on its back, and the horse literally just moves to the side, and you just go and fall on the ground. No, you fall into the trough of water. You sort of kind of moves to the side as you fall into the trough of water. You sort of kind of glance from the side of your eye as Ceravel's just looking at you like face palming, just kind of going, "What the what the fuck?" So the guard gets up, draws his sword, and actually he shouts, for the city guard. He starts making a ruckus. He takes out his sword. "Call out the city guard!" What's going to be? He's going to be an attaché for Triarch Taunt is being assaulted. My horse is being stole. City guard, call him out. You. And he starts pointing at people. "Get the city guard!" And he sort of takes out his sword and he advances on you.
Tharaval's going to get arrested after all. After all this civil war, and you still just get arrested by Suman.
Tharaval is going to get up and he's going to run. And as he does, he's going to smack the horse on the ass.
Right, I want you to give me a dex to see if you get out of the water trough, sort of.
A dex save.
Yeah, just give me a dex to save you, because you're basically fallen into this sort of kind of trough face first.
Yeah.
It's not. You're kind of stumbling out of it. It's not very glamorous. You're kind of out. You're drenched wet. You haven't fully fallen over anything. But he's sort of. He's pretty much within striking range of you.
Jesus Christ.
What's Ceravel going to do at this point in time? He's watching you make an absolute donkey of yourself. What's he going to do?
Oh boy.
What's Ceravel
Brothers
going
are always
to
embarrassing.
do? Ceravel. See, I still don't want to fight the guy. I kind of just want to cause a bit of a ruckus, get a bit of time, and bugger off.
Disengage.
Yeah. Let's see. Would there be like is it just going to be a sort of open area, or would there be? I'm assuming there's.
No, you're literally. There's going to be like. We'd say he's sort of kind of coming down one of the main sort of kind of cobbled streets. There's going to be houses on both sides.
Is there going to would there be like like baskets of chickens and things like that? And,
yeah, I'd say there'd be like sort of general sort of.
Maybe stuff sort of stacked up on the side of the street.
Yeah, I'd say
like
there's
that,
sort of boxes.
Okay.
And things like
right,
that.
Well, Ceravel's going to sort of nudge some of this over in the general direction of the dude, to try and give Tharaval a bit of a chance to bugger off.
Okay, roll me a... Yeah, just roll me a strength, I guess. Strength check.
Is it a strength save or an athletics or what? What is that?
Just, it's not going to be athletics, is it? Is it is strength
It's
athletics? Is strength athletics?
Yeah, strength is athletics.
Why
yeah.
is... I've got... What I don't understand, actually, is... Oh, that's Thurible, that's why. No, even then. Proficient in strength, but not in athletics.
Yeah, so give me a... Just...
It's gonna be a straight roll. Get 20.
Yeah, okay. So you sort of kind of you knock a couple of boxes over, which makes the guard sort of kind of turn around to look what's happened. At least there be any other attacks, which gives you a chance to sort of kind of make your escape.
Okay, in that case, Thurible is going to cast the good old Zephyr Strike, which basically just gives him a bit of extra movement. He's not going to make an attack, but it also means that he can avoid anybody sort of trying to attack him. And he's just going to try and get a bit of distance between him and the guard.
Okay, so you sort of kind of take.
And he's going to sort of run off into the dark alleyways.
Okay, so he takes himself off. As you sort of kind of do that, Serval sort of kind of blends back into the shadows, and some of the city guards sort of kind of make their way up to the messenger, who basically tells them that he was assaulted, that there are brigands in this area, that they should go house by house to try and search for this person, potentially cultists. No, they could potentially be members of this brigand group who's trying to bring down Balon and Triarch Subern. So you've got the city watch looking for you now. If this was Grand Theft Auto, you'd be on 2 stars.
Oh, that's easy. Get rid of that in 60 seconds.
So you can respray your horse now.
So he gets on his horse and he takes off out the gate. Right. Next up.
Was I not hitting his horse to get it to run off? No.
Well, okay. If you're going to go hit his horse and then try and escape.
I just realised I got inspiration.
You do.
I mean, ultimately, all that's really going to happen is it's just going to slow him down for a bit.
Yeah, well, that's fine. It's it's going to get. You'll hit his horse. It'll go off, and then so you hit his horse, and it sort of kind of does its thing. If you're going to hit its horse, though, it may kick you. So give me a.
I'm doing it from the side. I'm not going to stand behind it and hit it. That's just stupid.
Okay, so you hit his horse, and it sort of neighs, and it kind of runs off the street. He sort of shouts down at you, curses you for what you're doing, and then sort of runs after his horse, while the city guard sort of come into the area to sort of look for you both.
Can I sort of run away in a kind of Jack Sparrow sort of run?
Drenched, absolutely drenched.
And have him say that is the worst pirate I have ever seen.
That is the worst rogue I've ever seen. Right, okay, who's next? Who wants to go up next?
Anna's laptop's died, just in case you haven't seen.
Whose has it died?
Conrad's laptop's died.
All right, okay, right. I can see the I thought that look, that face. Okay, so we'll go to Val and Galandra. So you make your way to sort of kind of northern route towards Camber Ford. You meet up with Lance. With you have you have the sort of kind of guard that are with Agover, his retinue, some soldiers.
Still
He
spun around again.
he sort of notices Suburn's men and starts to question what's going on here, basically.
Go again, sorry.
So you've turned up to Camber Ford.
Yeah.
He's noticed that there are sort of men there in the livery of Suburn, and he wants to understand why these men are here, and bearing in mind everything you've said to him.
Yeah, okay, well, Balashul obviously informs him of Suburn's attempt to subdue the Dragonborn that were here, and our allies, etc. Yeah,
Has he
explains
seen
the
how,
situation.
Has he seen our gate decoration?
Yeah, he noticed.
Oh, yeah,
So this guy is he still sort of kind of skewered to the ground through his
He was left
genitals?
there as a warning.
Okay, so he sort of says, what is the meaning of this?
I come striding out of the gate and say, that was a reminder that taking liberties with the locals is frowned upon, Your Honor.
What do you mean? Explain yourself.
I caught him attempting to rape the Lady Galandra's maid, and he didn't stop when I told him to. So I decided that he needed to be made an example of, since he was being particularly rough with her, and I made my point.
He says this is Suburn's jurisdiction. This is one of his men. There is laws in this country. What proof do you have?
I'm pretty sure that finding him with his pants around his ankles, pinning a lady to the wall while he tried to pull down her dress would count as proof.
Roll me a persuasion. Yep. Okay. Yeah. He sees sort of kind of he sees Daisy looking pretty sort of upset. He gets one of his sort of aides comes over to him, sort of says something in his ear. Some of Suburn's men have sort of agreed to what you've said. He turns to you and says, he turns to his sort of kind of one of his men and he says, "Get this scum out of my sight." And he points to the guy sort of kind of sort of speared to the ground, and he says,
Has he not died yet? Like, he's bled out.
he's gonna
Like, it's been a while.
potentially. I'm assuming, did you kill him, or did you just sort of kind
no,
of?
I just pinned him there and left him to bleed.
Yeah.
them
So he
to
So he's
says,
probably really dead considering we've left him come back again.
yeah. So he says, we'll just sort of say he basically gets some of his men and he says we're going to do this properly, and he sort of gets a couple of his men to sort of rig up a gallows, and they start kind of making up a gallows and stuff, and he sort of goes to him and then says, "You've been found guilty of one of the most heinous crimes in this land, the rape of a virtuous maid. How do you plead?" The sort of guard sort of still sort of kind of in a lot of pain and crying and weeping, tries to apologize, say sorry. Agover then says, "I'll take that as guilty," and he says, "String him up." And he takes him over to the gallows and hangs him.
retrieve my spear at the same time.
Valashul steps to Agova's side and says, "Do you see how the corruption spreads into the men he uses to enact Sacrifel's will?"
Yeah. He sort of kind of nods his head and looks very sort of worried. He's more worried about sort of kind of the rest of the men that are. Are you sure the rest of these men can be trusted?
Valashul turns on the spot. Oh, no, go ahead.
They did as they were told. They laid down their arms and they have behaved in a civil manner while we have been here. There have been some damage from their arrival, which we've been repairing, but overall they seem to have dealt with them. They seem to have dealt with things a lot better than this one did, and at the very least, they seem to understand the concept of orders and discipline.
He sort of turns to the men and he says, "Men of Suburn, I have been told you are to be trusted. If you are not to be trusted, you will end up like this man," and he points to the sort of the hanging body of the soldier in the gallows. He says, "From this day forward, you're under my command. Any trouble, and it will be met with equal wrath. Do your duty, and you will be rewarded. Now, what are you humming about?"
Valashul steps in and says, "Actually, Lord Agova, they are under Lady Tont's command."
Right, okay. And she said, he sort of gives a bit of a sort of like what's the word? A bit of not a snort, but a sort of a kind of a laugh with a Lady Taunt. With all respect to your father, you are not yet what would it be? Not indentured. Ordained, yes. Proclaimed or ordained as a triarch. I must. You know the laws of this land. You cannot have command of troops outside of your jurisdiction.
Valashul interjects and goes, "Oh, but she has been ordained under the eyes of Bahamut as Empress of Balan."
Oh no, are you going here?
And you will serve her.
Oh no, are you actually saying this?
For the better of Balan. I am. That's
what?
So you're just fucking off everything that we've said in the last 2 sessions then?
Yeah. I mean, we've got him out in the open now, like... He can't exactly say no, and he can't run back to his little castle.
Right. There's a lot of people with their heads in their hands at this moment in time. So before you do anything rash,
this isn't rash. I am. This is calculated.
Right. Okay. So I want you to talk me through this. He's here. He's basically said that these men. He is a triarch. This is his land. He is saying he's.
It's not though. It's. We're actually in Subban's land.
We are
right
in
now.
Subban, but it's like he is a triarch. It's sort of a part of the council. He's sort of. Bearing in mind, you've told him Subban is a traitor. You've got here. He's got his men. He's basically said, all right, well, he's going to take these men. He's, for all intents and purposes, in his mind, he is the only triarch, the remaining triarch, because you've got one who's dead, one who's a traitor, so he's basically taking control of the situation. Now, if you are, you're turning to him and saying that you, a foreigner, are ordaining Lady Taunt as not only not a triarch, but the Queen of the Isle, Empress of Balan.
I mean, he can see Valashul as a foreigner all he wants, but Bahamut made this world, so therefore Valashul belongs here. So that argument is invalid. So he thinks that these people are beholden to Bahamut purely because they are on his planet.
Okay, but I want you
on
to
his
think
world.
about this as a military man, as a rational thinker. I want you to
I'm
think.
enacting a coup.
I appreciate that, but bear in mind the amount of men
You're
that he
gonna
has
be
with
doing it
him, and the amount of men
Yeah,
you
but
have with you. You got to bear in
We
mind.
also have like.
You will have
Okay,
none of
go on.
us.
No, go on. Oh, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, but you
I'll
agreed
die.
to.
I'll gladly die.
We
I
had a
don't
plan
mind.
though. We had a plan though,
This is
didn't you?
now-
And like you agreed to the plan. Why don't we just
you
see
wanna
the plan
die?
through?
My plan was different to your plan. I only told you the first part of the plan, and you agreed to go to that. So, oh, hold on, my sausage is ready.
Oh God!
Are you kidding me?
Where did old Wes go to? Come back? All is forgiven.
Right,
I find this kind of amusing, to be fair.
Hold
It's
on.
terrifying, but amusing.
He's gone from sort of kind of backseat D&D player to
Megalomaniac.
Megalomaniac. Oh
Right.
God!
This was always the plan.
Sausage munching megalomaniac.
To be
I think
fair, his
we're
name
all
starts
in
with the right
agreement that
letter.
I think he needs to pull back in his place. I will gladly do that, and I will reenact that.
Oh, yes, do it.
You want to go?
Right.
Step in the way of my
Before
holy
this,
path.
before this gets out of hand,
my wrath.
right. So there is Lance, Galandra, Lady Taunt.
Can you take all of us, bitch? Don't think so.
So okay. Now I'm not sure how Lady. Like, let's look at this way. I'm not sure Lady Taunt would want you to do this on her behalf.
Didn't agree to this.
Well,
Yes.
she agreed
I'll
to
kill her and
the
put someone
plan
else in
what we
power
had.
then. No.
Right. So I'm
Okay,
happy.
go on.
I'm
If
happy.
that's how you.
I'm
if
happy.
You see it going, that's fine.
I'm happy. I don't. Bear in mind, she is reluctant in the first place. You've now got another
I'm
sort of
throwing
force.
her into the fire.
Yes,
okay?
I understand what you're doing, but by all means, if you want to carry on down this road, but you also have to bear in mind that Galandra's with you, Lance is with you, she's with you. I don't think, personally, bearing in mind what she's been like throughout the campaign, she would just go, yeah, let's just out me as the queen here when there's two sets of men who may or may not join me. And
Bear in mind,
I mean,
fight.
the people here at Camberford have already stood down to Lance after he's come here to, defend the people. So
That was
they're
okay,
gonna
so
find
you've
out
got
eventually.
you've probably got about all in. You've probably got you've got the 200 who sort of you persuaded. You've got another 100. I think we're at Camberford. Well, 99 now because one's being sort of kind of executed. You've got whatever's left over the Camberford garrison. So let's say you've got 350 people, including yourself. There's probably Agover's probably brought about 200 people with him. So yeah, you outnumber him, but there's going to be a fight, and he will try and persuade these people, to join
Why
you.
is he gonna fight though? We still I don't. Well,
If
I can
I want you to
declare
put-
someone
if-
as
So I want you right. So you, Valish, you're in charge. You are in charge of an area, and then somebody who isn't a part of this country.
But he's not even in charge of this area.
Yeah, but he's a triarch. I'm only playing devil's advocate in this sense, so I'm just trying to. I'm trying to make you think about the consequences that could have knock-on effect. He is in
Must
his
try
mind.
not to railroad, but also try not for us to be killed.
Yeah, he is the only remaining triarch in his mind. One's dead, one's a traitor. In his mind, he is the only leading force in this land.
But if he now turns around and says that he doesn't want Lady Taunt to be the sole ruler, we know that he's going to be a problem later on down the line.
Yeah, so
it's better to confront him now.
Yeah, but
now
you don't.
that he's out in the
I know,
open
but you
and
don't
we've
know.
got some numbers against him.
But you don't know.
But I've prepared for the inevitability that he's going to say no anyway by blockading his port.
But
I
we
was
need.
preparing for the entire point of strangling him into starvation.
But you.
Yeah, but we need we need him for the first bit of the plan to supplant Subin. Like, it only
Yeah, and
has
he can still
authenticity.
do that if he.
How?
What do you mean how? He can still pledge fealty to Emperor, like fucking to
boy.
Lady Taunt, and then we like march in. Like, you know, if he pledges fealty now, then it's fine. If not, we, you know, get rid of one of the Hydra heads.
Oh God. Okay. All right. All right. So
Thank you.
I'll give you. I'll explain to you as Suber, and the way I've sort of kind of in my mind. He's not. He's in my mind. Suburn is he's a straight down the line. You know, doing his duty for his land. He's sort of. He's not as prickly as. Suburn. He's maybe not as noble as Taunt, but he's not. You know. In his mind, this is his land.
He's not a bad guy.
He's not a bad guy.
And I've not said that it's not his land.
Yeah.
I've not said anything. I've only said that Lady Taunt is now ordained.
I appreciate that. I'm just trying to put you in his mindset. If you turn around to him and he is trying to do his duty, and then you say, in his mind, there's certain like. And you know, you can look in real world sort of thing. If you turned around somebody who believes in something strong enough and you go, that's not how it's going to be, they're not going to just go, oh, right, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I've not even said that I'm taking his land in any way, shape, or form. Surely as a man of like a feudal society, he would understand that bending the knee to a new empress would mean that
I know, but she doesn't have any, other than maybe hereditary sort of birth, but they've got different sort of kind of views on they basically have to be ordained by the other triarchs. He has to, in his mind, he has to basically go, okay, Lady Taunt, you are the new triarch of Taunt, which he hasn't done yet. And so she currently would only be able to go under arms for men of Taunt, as he is currently the only surviving triarch, or the only sort of kind of triarch who isn't a traitor. He feels that he should take control of him. Now, you can try and persuade him that she should retain control of these men. You know, you can persuade him, you know, like it's better, you know, whatever you want to do to persuade him that this is it. Standing there and going, she's the new empress and the new queen. If that's what you want to do, that's fine.
No, I mean, like, I'm leaving room for him to reply, but then, like, I was bombarded with this, so I had to, like, explain my thinking and my thought process.
Yeah, I'm not trying to stop you. I'm just trying to give you a view, because bear in mind, and also bear in mind, there's other people within the party who may disagree with you. So if you suddenly do something, that they have to have a chance to reply if they don't agree with you.
And they've got a chance. Like, this is the opportunity to reply.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm currently looking through spells. What I can beat your ass with is currently what I'm doing.
Right. So So he has said. So this is how it's gone. He has said, "I'm sorry, Lady Taunt, but as the only sort of lawful law in this." The only lawful law in this town, in this country, you know, it is my right to
Let's say duty.
Or my duty to sort of take control of these men and bring Suburn to justice, and she will. Would you have talked to her about this beforehand, Balashul? Would you have discussed? Would you have discussed this with her?
This is all his own internal machination.
Right. Okay. So she would, bearing in mind, she isn't sort of like she's Balinese. She is very much. This is all about the greater good for her country. She does have respect for Agover. She's not overly great. She's not overly happy about sort of how things are going, but has gone along with it because she thinks it will prevent more bloodshed than it is. She agrees that she believes that the corruption and the downfall of the corruption, which her father was crusading against, is important, but she doesn't want that. She probably wouldn't want that with the risk of, more bloodshed. But if you want to persuade her, or you want to persuade Suburn,
Here, go with the rolls. Go with your shit rolls, and we'll see where it goes.
right? Okay,
Okay.
so you will.
I will try to persuade. I go.
I have a bad feeling that Val's going to
bending
get
the
good
knee.
rolls because I've used all the bad ones.
Right, so you've he's basically said, "I'm sorry, Lady Tunt." Are you just basically going? Are you going to just out and out say, "I have under the name of Bahamut, I have ordained her Queen of the Isle, Empress of Balon," or are you going to? Is that the line you're going down?
Yeah, that is what he's saying.
Okay, so right, what are you? So he sort of says, I have to.
Danny, can you cast silence?
I've got a couple of things I'm looking at that might silence Wes, but I'll see what he says. I can't kill him. Don't tell me
Okay, so you.
So what does he say to what I've said then?
Right, so you say to him, this. He sort of looks at you, strangely. He thinks it's a joke. He sort of kind of
Did Mark smack him?
half laughs. Lance tries to hit you with his staff and misses.
I would hope so. He's in a different town.
No, we're all there, aren't we? So
Yeah, he met up. He met up with them.
right,
They're
okay.
out there. So,
Okay.
he sort of laughs and he says, he sort of kind of laughs and he looks at you and he looks at Lady Taunt and he's like, I hope you're joking, Sir Nostius, because if you are, it's not very funny.
One sec, let me finish my sausage sandwich.
Sausage party.
So while you do that, so I will cut behind him and try and say and try to strike him from behind and say, enough of this, Polish paladin. We're supposed to be working with these people.
As you as the strike comes down, Agover sort of backs up and his men sort of kind of poise as
Can I react to catch it?
Yes, you can try and react to catch it.
What should I roll?
Oh no. Okay, go on then.
What should I roll? What is strength? Dexterity?
roll me a dex, I guess. Yeah, roll me a dex.
Okay.
At disadvantage because you're in plate
Let's hope
mail.
it fails.
Yeah.
Damn it, it fails.
Yeah, so you you miss, but it sort of pings off your armor, and you sort of kind of give him a look.
Make it look like a deflection.
Yeah, so that sort of, there's a lot of confusion going on here. Lady,
That's when I ranked at him.
Lady Taunt. Galandra, you have you can do one thing, and then we'll go to Lady Taunt, and then we'll go back to Agover. And see.
I haven't said anything yet.
You've said your thing, so you've said your piece.
No, I've got more to say.
I know, but you've said your
you don't
piece.
get-
So we're taking this effectively in what is initiative. So you've said your thing. Lance has tried to hit you to shut you up as field.
Okay.
You've done your reaction, which is fine. So Galandra gets to do something now, and then we're back to Agover to do the thing. Whatever's going to come of this.
Repressed.
This situation. You're not being. You got to take turns. It's a game. Everybody's got to have a go.
The dice are in their favour. This isn't fair. No.
Right. Considering he obviously isn't listening to anybody else, I know one person that he will listen to.
Steel guard.
Divine intervention.
Bahamut himself.
Divine
Oh,
intervention.
wicked.
Begin at 10th level.
You
A man
actually
who
are.
turns criminals into his champions. Let's go. Come on.
No.
You call upon
This
a
is
deity to
actual-
intervene in your behalf, and they create
Dungeons and
Come on,
Dragons
Galandra.
intervention.
imploring your deity's aid requires you to use your action, describe the assistance you seek, and roll a percentile dice. If you roll a number equal to or lower than your cleric's level, your deity intervenes. Okay, the DM chooses the nature of the intervention. Okay, so roll me a D100.
Come on, 1 to 11, and this. Then it's all on Matt.
Where the fuck do I roll at?
Just put
left,
in roll
right,
20.
right.
Do
Do you want me to
slash
roll it? Do you
roll
want me to roll it for
space
you?
D100. No, it's not your dice, Matt. Stop it.
If you go to,
Okay,
if you go to the menu, it has a picture of a
D-
dice.
yeah,
Hover over
D100.
Yeah.
Just click on D100. It'll roll a single dice.
Roll high. Yes, thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, so you know, and bearing in mind he was spent after the battle anyway, so you can't use this for 7 days. So you've tried that. Okay, that's failed, unfortunately. So you've basically started praying when this he started saying his
I
piece.
hear her praying.
You've closed your eyes and started praying to Bahamut while he's been saying this.
How would Lady Taunt react?
Lady Taunt, right? Okay, so you're putting me in a situation here. Okay, so
Why did I roll a D100, by the way, when it's about my level?
it's percentage.
Because
so
you
need to
roll
roll onto your
percentile dice. So percentile dice is a 100. So if you rolled 1 to 11, because you're level 11, you would have had the divine intervention. But anything other than that, he won't get it.
Yeah,
It was a long shot, basically, but
the higher level, the more chance you are of being successful.
yeah. It's basically because if you're getting divine intervention, it's a big boon. So it's like it has to be sort of harder to get, sort of thing, because you're getting the god to intervene.
I wanted him to come and rein in his dog.
Wow.
Okay, well, unfortunately,
You've made an enemy for life.
that has failed. So, Lady Taunt, right?
I guess we're going down the weapon route then.
Oh God! All right, okay. Liam James on YouTube, hi, and welcome to the shit show. Okay,
The
so,
Valashul show.
the Valashul show.
Oh, thin ice.
Oh God! Oh God! Right. Okay. So, Lady Taunt. All right. So she, will. Right. I'm trying to think about this realistically here.
Quick question: are we within 10 foot of Wes? I'm assuming we are.
You would be around.
You've already done your action. You can't do anything.
Yeah, you can't do anything.
I'm just asking. Are we within 10 foot of him?
Yes. Yeah, I think
Okay.
you'd be all around him. Okay. Lady Taunt, okay, will sort of look quite sort of embarrassed. She will look over at the men who she made the speech to. She will
You ain't not marrying her now, mate. You've embarrassed her.
Oh God, right, yeah, okay. She's going to begrudgingly accept what Valashul said. I think basically she's made the speech. She's accepted that this is the thing. She's going to say to Agover that it is not my intent to usurp your position. I was only to usurp my position, your position, sorry. I want to see the corruption taken from this land. I promised these men that they would help me rid this land and all lands of the evil, and our constant fighting and this what could potentially be civil war in a time of war is not what we need now. I am going to take up the mantle of my. I'm going to take up the mantle of my father.
Asshole paladin.
My father and my my forebears as the Dragon Knights of the Dragon Knights of the past protected this land and helped us bring independence to this land. I don't want this to end in bloodshed. I am happy to sort of discuss this further with you. I appreciate it is a blow, but this land needs decisive leadership, and as it stands, all we have is corruption running through our land because no one person will take control, and I feel that I am that person. And she bows her head to Agover and says, "Join us, Triarch Agover. Join us, and we will take Suburn, and then we will bring the fight to the corruption. And then I guess we're gonna have to try and roll.
You have to roll against your own speech.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to roll persuasion against Agover then. So
very good mitigating, Mark. Well done. Christ.
I will say I was only going to reiterate that he's not losing anything if he just bends the knee. Just saying. I wasn't going to bully him. I was going to say exactly what Lady Taunt just said. Like,
lies.
Record.
Lies.
Okay. All right. So let me find her sheet and let me see what she's got.
She's more persuading than fucking Valashil.
I think I gave her a half decent charisma.
First rule of law: blind those who cannot reach their divine.
You just make that up. What the fuck was that?
Second rule: anyone who says anything against Valashul
I feel like I should.
a unit.
I feel like I should break it. I've got Chat GPT open. I feel like I should let it decide what's going on. Okay, let me just find where the hell is her. It's not here. Where's her token? Where's the one?
You can roll it. I'll stand behind fucking Lady Taunt as well, and you can use my bloody charisma. Otherwise, this is all gonna go south.
Bear with me a moment. I'll see if I can. I think she might be.
She's got the NPC. She's under NPC, so that should give you her profile, right?
Yeah, I've got her there. Lady Althea Taunt. There she is.
So you persuading?
Okay, so we are going to do a persuasion. She has a charisma of 14. She gets +2. She's got a persuasion with a +6. So she's going to do a persuasion roll. Ah, okay. Wow, right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He is he's not fully persuaded. I'm gonna he is he's, you know, Lady Taunt, I respected your father like a brother. We fought many battles together, and watching you grow up has been one of the greatest privileges of my life. But what you suggest is to bring down the entire foundation that our independence movement, that our revolution was for, to against the Kyrelians. We set up this council so no one person could be could have so much power as to bring us back into that situation again, and you would bring us back to that. He says, I have no stomach to fight my own people. He looks sort of he looks sort of slightly aggrieved at the party because
Valashul replies and says, I share that sentiment, as he looks to Lance and Galandra. Why are you fighting me?
Size.
he says that he knows that she has won many battles. She was there at Falcross Bridge. She was there at Silkside. She was there at Kiberath. She was there at many of the things. He wasn't present at them, and fine. I'm gonna throw you a freaking bone here because I can't be arsed, because I don't want to send this off into to a downward sort of stream. So he hasn't been at many, and I think he is seeing the fact that he might not be up to the task of controlling, being the sole ruler of this place, or at least sort of what's he gonna do? He says, I think you owe it to the laws of this land and to the men who died for its freedom to have a vote, as is our way, on the change of this, of our establishment, of our way of life. I will come with you to bring Suburn to justice, but any change in this, any change in our democracy, I guess, in a certain way, I guess, it's not a democracy, triarchy, is society. I would strongly insist on a vote, and he sort of kind of looks at Valashul and he says, your zeal and your championing of Lady Taunt is admirable, but you're not Balinese. This is not your land, and therefore this should be our way. And I hope you will accept this.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I
want
will-
you, right?
He called it his land,
Yeah.
and
I grab Alishul's shoulder and I glare at him.
I want you to bear in mind, I have thrown you so many bones here, so don't go off on one too much. I'm happy for you to do what you want.
I swear to God. I don't care who's the
Valashul shrugs off Lance's hand and steps forward slightly, looming over Lord Agover, and he replies with, although this land was once yours, and whatever laws you have made for it, they are now null and void.
God.
Oh, come on, man. You're going to make things hard.
Okay.
Matt,
Try-
he wants to die.
No, it's fine. I'll save this.
He wants to die. He wants to
I'll
die.
save it, I promise.
Wes wants to die.
No, you putting me off. Stop. Right, what was I going to say? Your lands will still be your own. This vote can still take place in the change of Balinese law. But I must insist that you take the knee first and pledge your fealty and allegiance to Lady Taunt before I can even consider such a thing moving forward.
Oh, God. Okay, roll me...
Bend the knee.
Bend the knee. Okay.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Oh, God, okay.
I'm not trying to intimidate him. Like I did do.
Really?
No. I'm not. I'm just trying to get across that Val wanted to say more. Maybe held back a little bit. So I can just roll persuasion if that's okay. I don't mind.
Yeah. Okay.
Or do you?
Wait.
I guess it depends on how the character reacts. How does he feel? Does he feel threatened?
Right. So let me think about this.
Would Lance backhand slap Val yet?
Oh, I am.
Right, so you oh god, okay. Right. Draken, come back! Come back! We've created 2 monsters. Huthway's bit, yeah.
Did you try to strike me?
Yeah, they're sitting, as you're sort of kind of pushing them away, they're sort of kind of swinging their weapons, trying to sort of kind of shut you up.
Right, can I backhand Galandra, please?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think you want to do that.
And then if I make a connection, I'm using Thunderous Smite.
Oh god.
Oh, I don't think you want to start.
Right, guys. Right. I appreciate this is all fun and games, but I feel that this could start a chain reaction.
Can I become the big bad endgame boss?
If you re-roll a character, yes.
I will sell my soul.
Like, I'm trying to have we've been going for so long. I don't want you all fighting each other. I'm trying my best to get sort of.
I will say I've not raised a single hand to anyone who's tried to hit me so
As
far.
you shouldn't,
You
because
just
you're
did.
lawful good. I am not.
I haven't yet.
Okay, right.
Lawful good paladins would not slap women.
Now I know why Dave isn't here this
Wouldn't
week.
just stand by and get hit.
Right.
Yes,
Okay. Right. So I'm going to ignore the attempts at assault on your person, and right. Okay. Agover is not. Is he going to? Okay, tell you what. Roll me the persuasion, and then I will decide what he's going to think. 15. Okay. He is not
Bending the knee.
persuaded. He looks at you sternly, and says, I will not bend my knee to Lady Taunt, as we are what's he going to say? I'm not going to bend my knee to Lady Taunt. And he sort of kind of, with all due respect, Lady Taunt, I have been reasonable in my requests. I have understood your situation. I do not appreciate the forceful way in which you are
Being an asshole.
yeah
Asserting yourself.
yeah asserting yourself in my, and he will emphasize my land, but he says, I believe that we all have Bahamut's will in mind. I know he fights with you. I heard of his presence at Kibarath. I didn't believe it, but if the rumors of Lady Taunt's childhood and his what's the way? Because he visited, because she was ill. Didn't we have the thing where she was ill when she was a kid and he visited her? And yeah, so he has sort of, he has intervened, and I remember praying for Triarch Taunt's daughter when she was ill, and she became this warrior she is now. Me not bending my knee to her is not disrespect to her. It is respect to the laws of my land, to the respect to my to those who fought for it, and I will bend my knee when the people tell me to bend my knee.
Oh, he's not happy. Stop it.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. He's not going to bend his knee. He will bend his knee if the people tell him to bend his knee.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Right.
Now that's just activated phase 3. No.
Oh no. Oh no. God.
I'm very stressed right now.
Els isn't with you, is she? Slap him upside the head.
she's
Stop him now. Roll initiative, Els. Get him. Get him. Okay. Right. So he is. Yeah. So he's not going to bet it. He's sort of accepting that if this is the will of Bahamut, if this is the will of the people, he'll do that. But the first things first is dealing with Suburn. Okay, is there anything else anybody wants to say?
Obviously, paladins dispensing with dictates are not a great way to run a government, correct?
Oh God! Wow, this has been potentially one of the most stressful sessions.
This has been the most fun for me. What are you
Yeah,
talking
no,
about?
I'm all good with this. I'm just sort of, I've not had to think outside. I've not had to think on my feet as much. I know you lot make me think on my feet quite a lot, but today has really pushed the envelope. Okay, right.
A friend just asked me how our D&D was going. I said, I think the DM is starting to look a little bit fearer at the moment.
This is like that moment when we did the one shot and Pete just rolled the dice out of nowhere, and I was like, "What have you just
say?
What have you just done? What have you done?" Okay, right. So
She would have
Val,
gone very, very.
Val, he has given you his response. How are you taking that?
He said okay.
He just nods his head and steps back. He doesn't say anything, but there's cogs ticking behind his eyes.
Yes, there is. Okay. Okay.
That's the only smart thing that you've done.
Oh, we'll see.
Oh God. You guys just need to get a room. My God. Right. Okay.
Come on, Tont, let's go.
Okay. Right. So, Galandra, are you doing anything? Saying anything?
Galandra sighs and rolls her eyes and stands by Lady Tond. Because if she says anything, we were told not to speak if we're not going to be nice. So, and I don't want to be nice right now, so I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
If you just slapped me, I would have flame striked you.
I feel like
I've got immunity.
I feel like I feel like there's going to be another duel at some point in time. Okay. So, okay.
So
right.
If it carries on like this, I will be.
Okay.
I look at Galandra, I shake my head, and I just turn around and walk back into the fort.
All right. So. That has happened. We're going to go back to. Are you going to just carry on march? Well, that's been about a day, so you're going to spend a day in Camber Ford and then march on Suburn. March on Suburn. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I want to get the new men sorted out and mixed in with his own men so that they're not messing about.
Gimme.
Right. Okay. So, Arno.
Yes.
Arno. Yeah. So Suburn has sent out his guy, his guard. I'm sorry, his messenger. You will now have been contacted by one of the sort of well, no, let's just say Tharaval won't have met you where you were sort of kind of designated to meet, but there would have been there would have been a note of sorts that basically tells you that the City Watch are currently searching for him and Saravel within the city, and that currently you're on your own.
So Tharaval wouldn't have tried to get close to the Citadel Because he didn't need to meet Arno, he just needed to be within a number of feet of the
It's
citadel.
the contact that we were using to meet him, not...
Yeah, so alright, okay, so the contact sort of left a letter basically saying that, you know, this is what's happened. The rider has escaped the city, and Tharaval is currently laying low because the City Watch are trying to find him.
Well, they're not trying to find us individually. They're looking for people, but they'll be on high alert, I suppose.
Yeah, so they're basically, you know, looking. They're more suspicious. So I'm going to roll some dice if you do things to see if they can, if they find things and stuff, which I wouldn't have rolled before.
Okay, I guess Arno, on finding the note, he would read it and then find. I'm sure there's fires or something's burning. He'd burn the note. He'd still sort of try at the given time to try and contact Tharaval through sending. But what's the range on that? Through message. Message is 120 feet, so it's very unlikely he would be.
Yeah, he's not gonna be. That would be within the sort of the citadel itself, I think. So he's not going to be there.
Yeah, I would work my ways to like maybe the outskirts of the walls or something if I could. And at this time, you like Subin would see Arno would just reassure his allegiance, and he would change his attire into Subin's colors out of respect and allegiance.
Okay.
So I would try and use message from the top of the citadel, but when I can't get through to Tharaval, I will just sort of just move back and try and go to find where Subin is, what he's doing, to try and see if I can keep him calm, level-headed, and stationary.
Oh, we got a child.
Baby.
Get the baby.
Okay.
Oh, hello.
Someone closed the door so he couldn't get in.
Oh.
Oh, child.
Bad daddy. Hiya, Freddy.
He's come to watch the paladin succeed.
The little paladin that could. Okay.
Laugh at your rolls to hit paladin.
By his mum.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, no, she's on Tiamat's side now. It's fine.
Oh,
what's that for?
Right. Okay. So, I guess we're going to fast forward this. So, Tharaval, give me a stealth roll for you and Suravel.
Alright, this is Suravel.
Yeah.
This is Tharaval. Oh shit. Oh, he gets advantage because he's got his cloak.
Wasn't that buried with augury? Okay, sorry. Okay, so
do you have pass without trace or anything like that on either of them?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've got I tend to use that whenever there's like clunky, noisy people with plate armor following with me. I tend not really need it that often, but
okay. So I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll 5 d20s. I basically just need. I just need any not 20s. Sort of find you basically. So nope. Okay. So you're not found, and your star level drops 1. Give me another 2 stealth rolls.
As in 1 for each.
Yeah, 1 each. Yeah. Okay. Again.
Oh dear. Oh, that's not so.
Who's the second?
Oh! Second one's Tharaval. Inspiration, baby. Please,
What-
wait, this is where it's lower.
Wouldn't you take it as a group roll though, and average the two, or do you not do it that way?
Well, it's two individuals, isn't it? Basically trying to stay hidden.
No, but if they're together, then you'd get them both to roll and just average
Okay, with the
combined.
well, it would be
So
it would be advantage.
48, so it would be 24. Would be the score they got basically.
Okay, I'll give you that since you keep wasting your
Yeah,
inspiration.
I've still got inspiration.
Okay, so
It's usually Cerevel's rolls that are shit, but
any 20s? No, close, but no. Okay,
Very close.
okay, so you're fine. You're unseen, and the city guard sort of disperse back to their starting positions, back to their barracks. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So we're going to do one last thing before we end tonight. Then. So, Valashul and his army, trailed by Lady Taunt and So who is going? So you're going to make your way to the walls of Agover.
Mm-hmm.
I think surely somebody would, via the sending stone, contact Tharavel or something saying how far out they were, because Tharavel needs to let Arno know how long he's got to plant the evidence, right?
Okay. All right. Yeah. Because I forgot. Okay. So we'll do that then. So we'll do that. They have basically told them that they are half a day away. Or they're a day away. They're leaving Camberford. They'll be at Agover the next morning, and that you need to plant the evidence now. So what we'll do is, as the last thing before we sort of end tonight, is plant some evidence. Then, so what evidence are you planting?
What's the situation there? Like, does he have quarters, a war room, an office?
So he's got his own quarters. He's got a room with maps and sort of kind of pewter pieces on it showing where everything is. He's got a sort of kind of a main courtroom where they sort of kind of he sits and sees petitioners. There's sort of guard rooms and things as well, and then there's sort of kind of separate quarters for dignitaries and things like that.
So what would he have sort of allowed Arno access?
So you would be allowed into the main courtroom. You would have been allowed around the sort of kind of grounds. All the main sort of kind of important rooms, like the war room and his quarters, will be guarded.
Guarded. Oh man. Okay. Where is Agover right now? Has he retired? It's just nighttime.
It's up to you how you want to do that. So you've got basically they've told you they're going to be there within a day. So within that space of that day, you can choose what time you want to do to get things done. So it's up to you how you sort of kind of want to go do this. It's in the we'll say it's the morning at this moment in time. He's up, he's having his breakfast, and
And I would expect the others to get there the following morning.
So the following morning they're gonna turn up. You're probably there in the eating hall with him because obviously you're a bard. He maybe he's asking you to play a song
while he's eating tomatoes.
While he's eating tomatoes.
Mist and shadow. Hope shall fade, all shall fade. Anyway,
Denethor gets a bad
I would Yeah, I'd basically stay close to him, not bothersome in any bothersome way. I would play some sort of pleasant music to him, making sure not to play any songs about the party. I don't know if I would have picked up anything mentioning Subin, basically anything to
you
flatter
sort
him
of
and perform
you'd maybe sort of pen a slightly flattering you'd probably pen a sort of flattering ditty about Subern and his, you'd over egg his ego slightly, tell him that you heard them singing this in this sort of
it didn't go that well.
He sort of, my lord, I found, this story, this just being sung about you in the, in all the taverns of Subern, and he sort of kind of looks at you, disbelieving you. I think you blow the proverbial smoke up my rectum, young bard. I have heard naught of this. I know my city inside and out, and I don't know this song. But by all means, carry on playing. And he sort of kind of carries on eating his tomatoes.
Okay. So would he have consulted, or during the day at least, allowed Arno to accompany him into the war room at all, or not?
Because you've told him, he may. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because you're sort of kind of giving him the insight, he does trust you. He would sort of okay, maybe he wouldn't ask you, but if you want to try and persuade him that you could be a help, then I'll let you do that.
Yeah, I think I would absolutely try. Let's roll a persuasion then, yeah?
Okay. Was Danny gone?
28. She dropped off. 28, I think, is a pretty good roll.
we got Marcus Glands Rivenstar now. Okay, 28. Okay, so what are you saying to him?
I'll basically be softly kind of asking what the plan is, and figure out whether I can sort of assist knowingly where his sort of forces are positioned, and perhaps help to advise on the positions of the border where, from my knowledge of the Ton army, they would be most effectively placed, and kind of basically asking to see the war table, and like if he does sort of grant me access and we'd have a discussion, I'd basically ask to be allowed to essentially remain a bit to kind of think and strategize, and see if I can give him any more insight.
So he sort of strokes his beard and goes, yes, you may be of some help. So he sort of he takes you into the war room. He shows you everything that's going on. He asks you where you believe their forces are, how strong they are. He asks you. He sort of kind of shows you where his men. He's gonna put his men in the walls. If he believes, if Agover comes to my aid, he will come along the southern road along here. I've told my man to tell him to use the southern road, and he gives you that information. He then says, right, it's I'm going off to do something. He goes off, he's going to do something, and you say to him, do you mind if I look at your map? And he's like, yes, and he turns to his sort of captain of the guard and says, give Master Jerkle any assistance he needs, and I will see you at lunch with hopefully a better and more believable song. And he sort of laughs and sort of walks out of the room.
So this was still in the morning. I would have been angling to get in there in the sort of late afternoon.
This is after breakfast, so you're sort of like, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock.
Okay, so I'm in this war room with.
You've got one of the guard captains, and then you've got you've got a couple of guards standing outside.
Mm-hmm. Are there any windows?
Yeah, there's sort of a main window.
What level are we?
You're sort of you're quite high up because you're in the Citadel, overlooking Suburn. You can see the main sort of Market Street and the sort of I don't know what's it, thoroughfare or whatever, the sort of kind of main sort of walkway that kind of takes you from the Citadel into the city proper.
Oh boy, this is a tough one. What time? I'm just thinking hours of spells, how long they are. If this is the morning time, it's not going to work for him. It's too risky. He would frustratingly thank the guard captain for his time and leave the war room, but at least he would have seen what was in there. Was there are there sort of storage chests and stuff in there?
There's sort of you've got a big table with maps on it. You've got some bookshelves and with things. We've got ornaments, and there's a few chests, a few racks of sort of weapons and things like that.
And does his quarters at all adjoin this war room, or is it?
They're in the same. They're on the same level. They are maybe there's I would say there's a spiral staircase, and they're sort of opposite where the war room is, I guess.
Okay, he'd essentially go and meet the Triarch for lunch and sort of reassure him that what they discussed, I think, sounds like it makes the most sense. Once his messenger reaches Agover and Agover comes to reinforce and Subin's forces come back to the city, they will be well defended and easily be able to repel any force that might even consider attacking. So he just reassure him that everything is all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you want to skip forward in time to sort of do what you want to do?
Yes.
Do you want time to think about it until next week?
I'd prefer a bit of time. I have a couple of ideas, but it would probably require me sort of reading through some specific detail on some of my spells.
We'll leave it till...
I have 80% of a plan, but we can leave it till the next week when Glandra's back.
Is it a Valashul special with multiple levels to fuck with the DM?
No, not quite that. It's just a bit of a.
There's more to come, Matt, as well.
It's just going to be a couple of levels of trickery and heisty actions.
You son of a bitch! I'm in. Okay, cool. All right, we'll leave it till next week then,
Okay.
And then we'll sort of kind of carry on with the heist. And
one question: those windows in the war room, were they easily openable from the inside?
They are not windows. They're sort of they're like arrow slits, aren't they? Sort of.
Oh, bollocks! I'm not that small.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Right, so we'll leave that to next week. Danny's already dropped off because of baby duty, so we will leave it there. A very interesting and slightly stressful,
Sorry.
but no, in a good way. And it sounds like a bad thing. It moves the story on. It's all good. Okay. So, for me, I've been Matt Geary. With me has been Conrad as Arnold Jerkle.
Yep.
Michael
See you next week.
Michael Starville Eldon.
Hi ho, Silver! Away!
Where's his Fellowship Nostius?
Initiate phase 4.
And Mark is Lance.
If I rolled my eyes any harder, they'd fall out.
Night, everybody. Bye bye.